Hey, 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 what do you say? Alan coming to you live today. And today we're going to be talking about follow up. Yesterday I put a live out there about the 5 steps to being successful in network marketing and got some amazing response. Thanks for all of you who commented and sent me personal messages. Really cool. Really appreciate it. Really love being able to impact people. But got several people asking me about follow up. How often should I follow up? How many times should I follow up? How should I follow up? So I thought I'd do a live today and talk a little bit about that. And then at the end, I'm going to share with you an opportunity to pick up some really cool stuff that'll really help you with that. And so here's the deal. I heard a great trainer, one of my mentors today, said, I stop following up when I read their name in the obituary. And I thought, wow, well, that's one way of putting it right there. Cross Susie off my list. I mean, she's not with us anymore. And I thought, that's interesting because there's statistics out there that talk about, 75% of people who are and when you hear that phrase, the fortune's in the follow-up. Most people think sales, right? They think sales. But see, everybody in the world is working for themselves, and everybody in the world, the world goes around with sales. Everything that you own, if you look around your house, everything that's in your house you bought from somebody who was selling. When you go to get gas, you buy gas from a station where somebody's selling gas. And so it's not always about just sales, the follow-up. I mean, hey, there's people out there who are married who didn't take no for an answer from their spouse. Wanted to date Susie, wanted to marry Susie, asked Susie out 25 times before Susie would go out with me. Finally, Susie went out with me. And now we're celebrating our 50th anniversary. Good job following up with Susie. So follow up is a lot of different things. Following up with your kids, when you think about following up with them. How often do you follow up with them to ensure that they make their bed, clean their room, or that they're doing their homework? So follow up. So how often and what would you do? Well, in the direct sales business, the way I look at it is this, I know what an impact direct sales and network marketing can make in somebody's life. I know there's millions of people out there that are struggling right now. I know that the direct sales business, network marketing is the best business there is to be involved in. I know the stories about the Delon Hughes. Delon is a guy on my team, and he's 81 years old. And back in 1998, he went to work in the direct sales business at 48 years old. And he worked hard for 5 years. And his wife had a major stroke. He built a business hard for 5 years. His wife had a major stroke. They gave him, a couple of weeks to live, gave her a couple of weeks to live. And he said, she's going to live. And he stopped working and stayed home with her 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365. And she lived for another 20 years. And do you know that he didn't have to work? Because that business he worked hard on for 5 years supported him and his wife for 20 years before she passed away. And guess what? Now he's back in the business. Now he's on our team and doing great. I know the story about the lady who was living in Texas with her and her son and her daughter, and she was from another country. And she was working 2 and 3 jobs. Her son was a special needs, had to go to a special school. And her daughter loved to ride horses, and so she lived in her van. And she called it a camper, but it was a van. It had one of those pop tops on it, but it was a van. And so I know that somebody followed up with her. When I talked to Delon, he said the guy that introduced him to direct sales had followed up with him about 10 times before he said yes. This lady was like, I don't have time. I'm busy trying to raise my kids. She told her daughter loved riding horses and wanted to go to college and wanted to be on the equestrian team at college. Hey, Sue. Hey, Rebecca. And so, so she told her daughter, said, listen, she lived in that van because in order to send her son to a special school, she couldn't afford housing. It was one of the 2 choices we got to make in life. These are extreme stories, but there's lots of people out there that need an extra $500. Do you know that an extra $500 would have prevented 80% of all foreclosures last year? And so the lady living in the van, her daughter said, hey, and I want to go to college and be on the equestrian team. And mom said, look, it's college or it's horses, but we can't afford both. And then somebody, a lady that I know down there in Texas, followed up with her over and over again, kept touching base with her. She kept saying, I don't have time. I'm trying to support my kids. I don't have time. I'm working 3 jobs trying to pay for my son's school. And finally, she said, okay, let's give this a try. Great work ethic, great lady. And 4.5 years later, she bought a 30-acre piece of property down in Texas that had a barn on it, 4-stall barn, and it had a guest house. And she brought her mother over from the other country and put her mother in that house to live in that house because of the direct sales business that she built. And so knowing these stories, for me, I'm like, well, I'm going to continue to follow up with people that could use an opportunity to earn some additional income. Also, the products for most direct sales companies are amazing products. They're great for your health. They're great for your benefits. That CBD right now is a hot product. And you want to do your homework. I did a video last week on CBD, on knowing the differences in quality. But see, follow up to me means this, is if I'm still following up with someone, that means I haven't done a good job explaining to them what this opportunity is about. Because I'm like, well, you clearly don't understand how successful you can be. And a lot of people I follow up, I was just talking to a friend of mine last night, hit me up after my message, and I've been following up with him for 4 years. The lady on my team who has the second biggest team I have, she's got a fast-growing team. She's rock starring it. It took me 2 years of following up with her. Now, I don't mean calling and harassing somebody. I don't mean bugging them. I'm talking about just touching base with her. How's it going? Being polite, being kind, being considerate. She was with another company. She was considering Irish. She wasn't happy where she was. I didn't force her. I didn't bug her. I'm not talking about harassing people. I'm talking about staying in touch with people, following up with them, and let them see your consistency and persistency in the business. Because a lot of times they're like, well, last year you were selling juicy juice, and this year you're doing something different. Well, if you believe in what you're doing and you stick with it, and they see that, people are watching you when you don't even know they are. They're watching you when you don't even realize they are. Eventually, they'll say, leave me alone, or you'll read about them in the obituaries, or they'll say, hey, I'm going to give us a shot. I'm going to give us a try. So the follow-up, the fortune is in the follow-up, not only for you, but for the person that you're continuing to follow up with, and help them make a difference in their lives. So listen, I've got 2 great articles and 1 amazing book about that, about following up. And it tells you step by step how to follow up, how often you should follow up, what to say when you're following up with people so that you're not harassing them, that you're not giving them a hard time, that you're doing the right thing. So listen, if you want me to shoot you that information, shoot me a message on personal messenger here. Go to my name, Messenger, shoot me a personal message. And I appreciate all the comments everybody's putting, all the love you're sharing on my live videos. I really do. Thanks for jumping on. Let me know whether you're watching live or the replay. But if you want to get that information, that'll outline it for you. How often, what to say, how to follow up. Shoot me a private message, and I will shoot that information over to you. It's Friday. Woo! Have a great day. Tomorrow's July 4th. Let's rock it. Have a great day, an amazing July 4th. Talk to you soon.